Hello and welcome to this postnatal video, which is designed for early postpartum. It's really gentle, it's not going to tax you at all, and it's just going to help you to reacquaint yourself with your breath and, if you can, your pelvic floor. And do you know what? If you can't feel it at all, it really doesn't matter. It's about the thought processes of taking yourself there. Now, if you have never done any of our powerful pregnancy videos and you want to learn a little bit more about the pelvic floor, make sure you do have a look at some of our pelvic floor masterclasses. But if you have done some of those and you're familiar of where your pelvic floor is, it does lie between your pubic bone and your tailbone at the back. So if I just turn around sideways on, so from your tailbone to your pubic bone, like a hammock underneath you. If you were to pull the sides of the hammock out, it's like a diamond shape underneath you. And you use it initially by stopping yourself going to the toilet, so you're drawing up through the back passage and the front passage. But what you're trying to get is a deeper feeling in the muscle and feel the deeper layers of the muscle, which is to really try to lift up through and inside you. Now, you don't do this when you've recently had a baby, and you can be doing this particular video early postpartum, so you could be doing it as soon as you like. It's completely safe to do as long as you've got permission from your midwife or your doctor to do it. Then it's absolutely fine for you to do this. But it might be that you feel discomfort or you feel pain when you do this. Don't go there, just stop. If when you're doing it you get any kind of gushing of blood that is over and above what your normal flow, then stop. You're doing too much, okay? So it should feel completely normal. There shouldn't be any pain. It might be that you don't feel anything at all, and as long as there's no adverse effects, then it's absolutely fine to do it, okay? So first thing I want you to do is I want you to lie down on the floor. Now I'm going to lie down on the floor initially, but then I'm going to get up and talk to you because it's probably better for you to hear me through the mic. So I'm going to lie down. I want you to lie down as well. Now when you go onto the floor, have a mat underneath you, and then turn onto your side and then come onto the floor. Now, a few things you can do. You can get a pillow and put it underneath your pelvis. Now, if you are lying in bed, for example, this is perfect. Get a pillow and put it underneath your pelvis, because if you elevate your pelvis up, I'm just using my hands for now, if you elevate your pelvis up, it really helps with your healing. It's applying the principles of RICE, which is rest, ice, compression, elevation. So you elevate, and then the compression is you could try contracting your pelvic floor muscles, and you could even, if you were feeling really sore, you could put a cold pad onto your pelvis as well if you want to, particularly if you're feeling really swollen. But just doing the pelvis lift away from the floor in itself can be enough. So either with your bottom on the floor, on the bed, or underneath a pillow, you're going to take your hands onto your rib cage and take some nice big deep breaths. So just inhale for me and exhale. And as you're inhaling and exhaling, I want you to really listen to your breath and to the feel of your rib cage rising and separating. And then as you exhale, your rib cage coming in and down and in and down and in and down and in and down. And then do that again. Inhale. Feel the rib cage rise and separate. And then as you exhale, feel the rib cage come down. Now, if with your head, if your chin is sticking out like that, yeah, because you've got lots of tightness in your neck, I want you to have just a rolled up towel, something under your head to just lift it up. You'll probably find a pillow is too much because it'll bring your chin forwards. You want to be able to look up towards the ceiling. So maybe get rid of the pillow, but just put something under your head just to give you enough lift so that your chin doesn't stick out. And think of kind of rolling your head so that you're lengthening through the back of the neck. And then just get your fingertips and just slide your shoulder blades down the back of your rib cage. And then either with your pelvis elevated or on the floor, take some more breaths. If you want to put your hands back onto your rib cage, then that's all good, that's fine. Take another breath, inhale, exhale and relax. And as you relax, this time, start to prolong your out breath. So keep breathing out, keep breathing out, keep breathing out, keep breathing out. So again, breathe in through your diaphragm, so you're expanding the diaphragm, so you inhale. And then as you exhale, the diaphragm comes in and down, in and down, in and down, in and down. Now, if you've looked at some of our pregnancy pelvic floor videos, you'll know that your diaphragm and your pelvic floor are connected. So just by starting to breathe through the diaphragm, getting it to expand and contract, you're going to start to get movement in the pelvic floor because they work together. When you inhale, they both expand. When you exhale, they both draw up and inside you. So try to have a picture of that now. Some people describe it as two jellyfish, one on top of the other. You inhale, they expand. You exhale, they draw in and pull up. So just have an image of that in your head and then do some breathing again. By the way, your knees should be around hip distance apart. If they do start to go out wide, you can always put a cushion between your knees as well, and that might help you a little bit with your pelvic floor. But just make sure when you're doing that, you're not tucking your pelvis. You've either got it relaxed on a pillow or your pelvis is relaxed into the floor. Don't try to tuck or lift your tailbone off the floor or off your pillow. So take another breath, hands onto the rib cage or hands down by your side. Inhale. And then exhale. And just keep exhaling, keep exhaling. Feel that rib cage in. Imagine the diaphragm and the pelvic floor lifting up inside you. So you inhale, they expand, and then you exhale, and they lift up and inside you. So as the rib cage comes down, the diaphragm goes up, the pelvic floor comes up. Inhale, rib cage expands. Exhale, feel the rib cage come down, but imagine your core muscles coming up and inside you. So pelvic floor's coming in, diaphragm's coming in. Inhale, they expand, and then exhale, they come in and contract. Now keep exhaling, and see if you can start to activate your pelvic floor now. Try that stop a fart, stop a wee feeling, and think of your pelvic floor drawing up and inside you. Again, inhale, and then exhale. And then pull up and inside you, up and inside you, up and inside you, up and inside you. And do that again. Inhale. And then exhale. And pull up and inside you, up and inside you, up and inside you, up and inside you. So try to pull your pelvic floor up inside as you exhale. Now try to keep that breath really long and slow and relaxed. So you inhale. And then you exhale. And you keep exhaling, keep exhaling, keep exhaling, keep lifting up and inside you. Don't worry if you can't breathe out for that length of time, but just try to prolong your out breath. And if you can't feel your pelvic floor at all, it really doesn't matter. As long as you keep doing this, and you can do this video 3 times a day, and that's it. You don't have to do anything else. Just this alone in these early stages is really all you need to do. And when you feel ready, you can go for some really gentle walks, but take your time. This is a very precious time. It's a unique time. So just do what you can. I'm going to sit up as I talk to you, turn onto your side to come up and come up, and just rest as much as you can, but do what we've just done here. And as I say, come back to it as many times as you like in the day. Well done.